Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Geek Tech Show. Let me put on my special detective glasses on. And today's video, we're going to be doing another episode of checking out a brand new Nike. Now, in case you're a fan, make sure you hit this button right here so you never miss another single episode of this show. So let's get started with this show itself. Today's episode, we're going to be reviewing. Yeah, I can already smell it. This is the Nike Air Max Tailwind IV SP special issue. Whoa, this is great. This is like I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with this special edition tailwind. I did review of this before, and the box is just, I can't but help it. This is like one of those boxes you get and you want to I want to keep this box. It's just so cool. So it has this thing right here that you can pull it out, and I see so many shoe boxes, and this is the coolest one I ever seen. Unfortunately, it's not the easiest to open. All you have to do is pull that thing down. And then, this is so cool. Look at this. Whoa. It actually pulls out. I never seen that before. So I have so many shoes, and this is like the coolest shoe I ever saw. The box, I mean. That's even without examining the actual shoe. Talking about the actual shoe. Camouflage. Oh, yeah, my favorite stuff, like totally camouflage version. And you know what? They even give you an extra pair of laces as well. So just in case, you don't have enough laces, well, we get an extra version right here in case if something happens to them. Or you can put them in another pair of shoes. So first thing you need to do is to examine the actual evidence. Why people are buying those shoes? They want to see their shoes. I mean, why people are watching those reviews, I mean, not really buying them. But you really want to see the actual shoe in your hand. So you can see right here, it has very nice upper. It is, the material itself, it's good, but it doesn't have the feel that you usually have with shoes. So this is polyester kind of a material here. Now on the bottom, right there, I like this. I just like the way this actually all puts in together. Like you have the digital camo design right here, and then you have this on the bottom, which is much better than the white version. It's kind of like a camouflage version for people in the military or people who want to have a jogging shoes as well. Like if you're into hunting or stuff like that, this is like a cool shoe for you to have. And on the back over here, it has this, which is, it just shines. When some kind of a light hits it, it shines back. So it makes you safe if you're jogging at night. Now right here, I like the way this goes. It's like a T-Rex thing. And it has it's like a breathable mesh or something like this, and it just keeps on going with those. The whole design just goes all the way to the bottom. It just looks awesome in my opinion. Now also it has the air bubbles, and you can see them right here showing up in a few different locations as well. And on the bottom, which is really cool by the way, you have two different contrasting colors, and you have this right here, which is the air pocket itself. Talking about air pockets and stuff like that, this shoe is not cheap. It doesn't bend. The cheapest of shoes, they usually bend, except the 5 fingers, which is supposed to bend. This doesn't really bend, and you have to use a lot of force to try to bend this shoe. So it is well made, constructed. It's just like a brick by itself in some way, but it's not. Now the other thing about this is the other side of it right here as well. But the good thing is it seems to be very waterproof as well, water resistant that is, because the whole design, there is nothing that you can see that it has pores or anything that will get the water right inside the actual shoe itself. So the next thing, of course, is to put them on my feet and give you the final verdict of the shoe and let you know, okay, is this something you should be getting for yourself? So let's go ahead and examine the actual shoe, how they look like, and you can see the whole thing. It just looks so cool, and the lines and everything. And here you can see right here the actual lines themselves, all and everything. The shoe itself just matches. It looks good. It actually has a floor right in it, and everything about the shoe just screams, buy me now. I want to get this. I want to have this shoe. The other things here that keeps in mind is the laces themselves. You also, you get the actually extra laces here, but I'm talking about the size of the lace itself. You can double lace this. You have a lot of extra size of laces here, and usually you don't get that. Usually like super thin laces, and it makes it so much harder for you to go ahead and tie this up. The tongue itself is adjustable just a bit, but it is very secured in here, and it doesn't go away. Like if you put your finger in here, it's not gonna go on the other side, which means it's more waterproof for you. Inside the shoe itself, it actually says Max L in here. The big question is, can you remove this from the bottom? That's what I'm trying to do right now. Some of those you can't actually remove them. This one you can. You could actually remove it, and you can see the stitching on the inside. Maybe you can see it right here. So that's good. You can remove this in case you decide you don't want the original things in here, and some people actually prefer not to have the originals or just switch them to something else. And this is kind of cool right here, the way this line actually goes right in here. I do like the digital camo, and the whole design in itself just says military written all over it. So if you're into military kind of stuff, this is really the shoe for you to get. And I do like the way it is made, and it is designed for people who are thinking about doing activities outdoors. So it is a running shoe, but it also could be made for walking, hiking, and going to places. Just the way it's actually designed over here, you have some protection for you. But one thing it doesn't have is this. You can see right here, it doesn't have anything that will protect your feet. So if you're getting this for some heavy duty stuff, don't. Because if something falls on your foot, you're gonna feel it. This is not made to protect it. It is more digital camo. It looks good, it works great, it is good for running and jogging, walking, maybe hiking, light hiking, but nothing into heavy equipment and use like that. So those shoes are kind of really cool, and they feel super lightweight as well on the feet. When you put them on your feet, they'll really feel good, and that's what you want when you put them on it. They feel natural on, and also feel great as well. Now let's do a few tests with them. So we want to make sure those shoes are exactly what we are talking about. The first thing about them is that I don't feel anywhere in those shoes anything uncomfortable. So that is good. You don't want the shoes to feel uncomfortable in any way. And as you put them right from the shoe itself, right into the shoe, it feels like it's made right in there. Now, a few things about when you put them on, and this is very important. If you just get those shoes, you might think that this is too tight, but it was designed this way. So what you're doing is you're just using the extra laces and expanding this all together. So you actually can put your feet in here, and they will fit right in here, and it wouldn't be any problem. So people who say those shoes are too tight, they really never actually did what they were supposed to be doing with those shoes. They are supposed to be kind of tight, and you can tighten them up as much as you can, or loosen them as well, because of the way the laces are actually working right here. So how do you do this? Well, you simply let this go, and right here you can loosen up the laces themselves, and it will make them work for you. And if you want them more tight, you do this the other way around too. So it works both ways, by the way, and it works excellent in my opinion, especially for jogging shoes. The tongue itself, you can actually adjust it a little bit. It doesn't give you much room for you to adjust it. So keep this in mind if you're going to be buying those shoes for that purpose. The material itself feels good on the feet, and lots of ability for the air to flow right inside of the actual shoe. Now let's go ahead and do a few more tests here. And first test is this. You want the shoe to actually naturally go up and down, and it does do exactly that. On the back you can see right here the fluorescent thing right there. It's supposed to glow at night. It is a safety feature that I really like as well. Now the shoe itself feels good, and it does have a little bit of traction right here. Specifically, if you're going to be hitting something accidentally, this is going to prevent any foot damage right there. So that is also great as well. Now, next test is a jumping test. So we're going to be jumping in those shoes and see how it actually lands back on the floor. And yeah, good shoe, because as I fell right back on the ground, I didn't feel any impact, and it's not really supposed to feel any impact because you have a lot of those things right on the sides as well. So it's supposed to absorb any kind of shock too. I wouldn't be testing hiking shoes with that, but for running and jumping shoes, this is and potentially could be a cool looking shoe for you to use for basketball. I do suggest for you to check it out as well for basketball too. I do think those will work for that as well. Now, one thing for you to keep in mind is that on the slippery side, the edge itself, it seems a little bit, I don't like the way this actually works in that, because it's really not supposed to be for that. It's really made for running. So this is something for you to keep in mind if you're going to be getting those. Everything else about them is really great. I like the looks, I like the way they feel. They're very nice looking, comfortable shoes, and Camo Edition, special edition too. So check those out if you do enjoy them. There's going to be a link right down below where you can get them, hopefully at the cheapest possible price on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching this, and see you in the next episode of the Geek Tech Show.